Look at this. The website that you're seeing here is a landing page of Jesko. It won Website of the Year award on Awards. And look, this is my clone of this website. I just recreated this in minutes using an AI workflow. It has cinematic cloud transitions, complex scroll triggered plane morphs, and a 3D rotating globe just like the original one. Like if you hired a creative agency to build this, they would quote you like thousands of dollars and take weeks to deliver. But I redesigned this entire website in like 10 minutes with zero coding. But the thing is that you need to be extremely good at it. Like AI coding tools like Lovable or Bolt or Cursor usually fail at this because they can't generate the assets like the videos, 3D models, motion. But you don't have to worry about that. In under 10 minutes, I'll make you a master at copying premium websites with this workflow that I'm gonna share today. So if you want to move from a prompt engineer to a full stack AI architect, hit subscribe and let's build this. Before we build, we need to think like an architect. First, let's look at the original Jesko website. I see three impossible components that make this feel very premium. First is the hero section. This isn't just a video. The camera pushes through the window into a cloud and the speed is tied perfectly to the scroll. Like this will be our first core asset. Second, the plane morph. As we scroll, the jet flies up, then transitions into a technical wireframe like a photorealistic to CAD. This will be our second asset. Third is the rotating globe in the footer. Like it looks very simple, but the magic is a perfect seamless loop. There's no jump, there's no stutter. So this is our asset 3. That's the plan. 3 animated core assets. We don't build the whole site at once. We generate the components first and then like we'll generate the website in Antigravity. So let's start with the visuals and let's generate our 3 core assets from scratch using AI. Just type Google Whisk in any browser, open this link, you'll find this kind of interface, and now I'll go to my Jesko official website in a new tab. I'll screenshot this hero section image and we'll give it back as a subject in Google Whisk. We basically need a start frame and an end frame. I'm starting with the view from inside the jet. I'm pasting this prompt. You can just get this in the description. I'll hit enter. Okay, this one looks nice. I can refine it and can say like remove the Jesko text. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Now I'll go back to Jesko website. I'll scroll a bit and take a screenshot of this part of the website. Now I'll give it back to Google Whisk as a subject. Now for the end frame where the camera has passed through the window, I'll just paste this prompt. Okay, I'll hit enter and this will give me 2 images. This one looks good. Okay, now I've got the frames. The magic happens here. I'll download both of these frames. Then in a new tab, I'll type Google Flow and I'll go to this website that you're seeing here. You'll see this kind of interface. Here I'll change the type to frames to video. And here I have uploaded the first frame and the last frame that we just generated in a simple prompt. I'll hit enter. And there it is. Look at these 2 generations. Look at the motion here. Okay, I'll pick this first one. I'll just download it. Okay, let's move to the asset 2, that is the plane morph. Okay, what we'll do is first we'll go to the website of this Jesko Jets and then I'll take a screenshot of this part and we'll give it back to Google Whisk as a subject. Now I'll paste this prompt and we'll hit enter. Okay, look at the generations. This looks okay. I'll refine it. I'll quickly refine it and remove the text here. Okay, here we go. I've got the image. And now for the second part, that is the wireframe. I'll give this generated plane as a subject and we'll screenshot this wireframe from the website. I'll keep these 2 as a subjects and we'll paste this prompt. I'll hit enter. Okay, this one looks okay. I'll refine this image. I'll just remove all of those things. Okay, this one looks fine. I'll download this image. Now I'll do the exact same thing that I did for the hero section. I'll give both of these images to Google Flow. Here you can see I've pasted this prompt. You can get this in the description. It will generate me this video. This one looks nice. It's even better than the original one actually. Okay, so now we have our 2 layers. Finally, the third asset, that is the rotating globe. What I'll do is I'll now take a screenshot of this globe from this official website, and then we'll give it back to Whisk as a subject. For this, the prompt is very simple. I'm pasting this prompt and we'll hit enter. Okay, it has generated me some images. This one looks identical. I'll refine it and remove the text and all of those things. Okay, so now to animate it, we don't need to leave Whisk or like go to flow. I'll just click this animate button here and give it a clear, proper motion prompt. I'll just paste this prompt. You can get this in the description. It will take a minute or so, and just look at the video it generated. Like in a few minutes, we have generated the 3 core visual components for an award-winning website. But here's the critical step that most people do wrong. You can't just put these video files directly onto our website. Like they're too heavy, but more importantly, you can't control their playback with the scroll bar. So we need to optimize each asset differently based on its job. So let's start with the hero animation. This is our main storytelling piece. To tie its playback to the user scroll, we need to convert this video into our individual image frames. I'm using a free tool called Ezgif. Just types video to frames on Google and just you can get this link. First, I'll upload the video. A key setting here is the frame rate. The original one is probably 30 FPS, which is overkill and will create huge files. 15 FPS is the sweet spot. It's smooth enough for the web without being too heavy. I'm clicking on this convert to JPEG button. And look at this, it's broken that smooth video down to hundreds of individual frames. This is what will allow our AI to scrub through the animation as we scroll. Like I'll just download all the frames as zip file. Now for the plain morph video or the asset 2, I'll do the exact same step. I'll upload the video to Ezgif and break down each frames at 15 FPS. You can see here I have these 2 directories. I have downloaded and extracted the zip file. I have renamed it as sequence 1 and sequence 2. And for our last asset, that is the globe, it is very simple. Since this is a background element that needs to play continuously, we will use the video file as is. Like we'll just tell the browser to loop it forever. No frame splitting is needed here. Now we need to create the blueprint that tells the AI how to put all of this together. But we can't just throw these files to Antigravity and say like build this website. We need to create a professional blueprint first. Like for that, I'm using Google AI Studio with the Gemini 3 Pro model. You can use normal Gemini or ChatGPT also. The reason I'm using this is massive context window and the power to control anything. Like it can analyze our original screen recording, understand our asset plan, and generate a comprehensive set of instructions all at once. So this is the most important step, that is a context injection. I'm giving the AI our original screen recording for the design, the user experience and the aesthetic. And here I have pasted our master prompt. I'll hit command enter, give it some seconds, and look at this. This is an entire blueprint. It's defined the React components, like it has written the framer motion logic and even provided the copy. Like this document is now the brain of our project. It contains every instruction that our coding agent will ever need. So now we can hand this off to our Antigravity. Okay, now let's execute everything. Just open any coding editor like Cursor or Antigravity. I'm using Google Antigravity here. You can download it for free. But before we write even a single line of code, we need to set up our asset pipeline. The AI can't really build a website like if it can't find the files. So here you can see I have dragged our hero sequence folder, our plain folder, and our globe video directly into the public directory. This was very crucial. I'm taking that massive implementation plan that we generated in phase 4. I'm pasting the entire markdown document into the chat and I'll hit enter. Watch the tasks and implementation plan. It's like creating the canvas component for the hero, CSS triggers for the plain morph, and the video player for the globe. I'll proceed with the implementation here. It's following our blueprint exactly. Okay, look, the build is done. It has structured our sequence folders and assets in the public directory. It had some minor errors and linters. I just gave everything to Antigravity and it solved everything out. I also adjusted some colors and content, like very minute changes. I also asked like what other features that we can add to make it more appealing. It gave me some features like here, sound design, custom cursor, micro interactions. I just asked it to build these and it implemented them very smoothly. Okay, let's look at the preview now. There it is. The design, look at the design. It's perfect and very buttery smooth. We have the scrolly telling cloud transition, the plane morphing into the wireframe, and the seamless globe loop. Like, obviously it's not exactly the same as the original one, but it's a pretty good one. Like, we have successfully cloned the animations at least. Okay, this website looks very incredible, but as an engineer I never trust looks. I need to know it actually works in the real world. Like, before we ship this, we need a quick sanity check. Instead of me manually testing on different networks and devices, I'm using something as TestSprite. This is an autonomous QA agent that lives right inside my editor via an MCP server. If you want to know how I configured this TestSprite MCP server here, you can see my previous video. So here, as you can see, I have my TestSprite tools in my MCP server list. Now my editor has eyes. I can literally tell the AI to test the real world performance conditions for me. I'm giving it a simple command in this chat text box. Look, it will redirect me for this config page. I'll quickly give my PRD to this. It will create me a new directory called TestSprite test. Like, look here. It has my PRD, it has my code summary, config files, etc. etc. It will redirect me to a page where I can monitor my test cases. Like here, there are 13 test cases all running parallelly. Okay, look, it's almost done. You can see the test cases, like only 4 got passed, and it has like also created a test report file in my directory. Let's look at the test case 009. I can see the video here. Okay, let's look at some failed ones. I can see the code here, the error, the description, steps, etc. Okay, here you can see it has created me a detailed code to solve all those errors. I'll simply tell Antigravity to solve these out, like it will do everything for me. And here is the final result. Here is the original Jesko Jets website. It costed like thousands of dollars and probably took weeks to create. And here is our clone using Google Stack. It costed me $0 and it only took 10 minutes. Like, we didn't just copy the code, we recreated the entire asset pipeline. This is the applied AI workflow. Like, we stopped trying to get one model to do everything. Instead, we orchestrated a team of specialized AI tools to build something impossible. I packaged up the asset prompts, the master blueprint, and the anti-gravity workflow all in the Notion link that you can find below in the description. You can just grab it all for free. And if you want to see me creating the entire backend databases, integrate AI into this website, just let me know in the comments. And if you want to stop vibe coding and start engineering, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I'm Samir and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.